Alrighty, so I wanted to wait until the actual game was updated so I could actually look at all the stuff on the banner and see who else was going to be on the banner that weren't rated up and everything like that. But unfortunately, I am super tired, and I know that I'll probably sleep longer than I want to, so it might be just a better idea for me to go ahead and get this out. So just real quick, if you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'm already getting tired of saying that at the beginning of the videos, but we're trying to push for 800 subs by the end of the year. So either way, so the big thing here is this is probably going to be a skip banner for a lot of people. Although Ludociel is a really cool character, Nalyd is really not that good. And the big thing with Ludociel is his passive is it should show it down here, decreases defense related stats of enemy heroes with a combat class lower than the hero by 40% for 3 turns in PvP. So that means although he can have really high CC, you're gonna want to try to max his CC out as much as possible, which means you want to try to get as many copies of him, so that way you can feed his ult, so that way he gets 400 extra CC per ult level. You want to make sure that all of his gear is max, or like all of his all of his cosmetics are UR. You want to make sure they're all maxed out with cosmetic upgrades, etc. You want to make sure that he is at the the peak that he can be, so that way there's he's doing as much as he can with his passive. He is also good to just put as an associated unit on certain characters, which is always really nice. He is a good character. His ult is actually really good. It's a nice AoE. I mean, there's nothing really much else to say. His attack card right here, this one does a lot of damage. He has a rupture skill, which is pretty decent, and it is an AoE as well. He's just altogether a really cool unit. I really want to summon on him, but at the same time, unless you're just willing to wail for him and really get multiple copies and stuff like that, you're not gonna really be able to do as much as you want to do with him with just one copy, unfortunately. And especially if you're not willing to spend some extra diamonds on his cosmetics and stuff like that. And it just, I don't know. He's good, but he's not good enough at this point to where I would say go for it. Maybe in the future. I'm sure he's going to end up being one of the extra characters on the other sort of like Archangel banners whenever they come out. So you'll probably end up trying to like pull for him or something like that, or like you may end up just getting him at random at some point in the future. But honestly, like, he's just not really worth it that much right now. I don't think it's very smart. There is a mileage reward for this where you can get a full attack defense set that's already 5-star plus 5, which is kind of interesting, but the main stats on these are probably going to be randomized, which is going to be kind of crappy. But at least in this update you can re-roll with anvils on base stats, so I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but at the same time, that's not a good enough factor for me to even want to try to summon on the banner. Nalyd is just not really all that great in general. I feel like she seems like one of those characters that might be sort of helpful in like a weird sort of like final boss in the future, maybe, because like she has like an AoE cancel stance, which is kind of interesting. HP, or heals HP of all allies by 300% of attack and fills the ultimate gauge by 2. So she's all right with ult rush, etc. But in general, she's just not really that good of a character. I don't really see a whole lot of like, unless you're just running like an all fairies team or something like that, and you want to try to like use her as part of the gimmick, I guess. I don't know. She's not very good at all. So, I mean, the big thing here is Ludociel. So I guess I would say I recommend skipping this one, especially if you're like a free-to-play player, or even if you're just not willing to like go insane on the banner, because it's probably not going to turn out well spending that many gems to try to 6-6 a character. I've never tried to 6-6 a character on their first banner, and I'm sure it would be agonizing, because just the rates in this game are just not very good for that. So either way, that's pretty much it. I would love to see who else is going to be on the banner, but I'm sure at this point it's just going to be some standard sort of units. They might end up trying to sweeten the pot with it a little bit and add some other kind of interesting units just to try to get people to summon on it. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I would say it's a skip for sure. Either way, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.